Hi, this is Julie Jordan Scott, and I just learned something. Welcome, replay viewers. I'm so glad you're here. And if you come back into the scope from before, I just minimized my stream, and I realized that when I minimize my stream, it shuts off the recording. So I learned that. But today we're not doing poetry and writing prompts in the park. And I am in the park about an hour early. And I have some visual images for you to write from. So here's your first visual image. What is this, you're asking? This is a creek with no water. This is a creek with no water. So what do you make of that in your creativity or in your writing? A creek with no water is, or think about that. Up the creek with no paddle. Have you heard of that expression? Up the creek with no paddle. That makes kind of a fun thought. Okay, so I'm up the creek with no paddle, or I'm up the creek with no water. Up the creek with no water. See, there it is. There is no water in that creek. So think about that in your writing. Up the creek with no paddle, or I'm up the creek with no water. Oh, that's nice. Hi, nice to meet you. Block. Ridiculous. Okay, so maybe that person had been insulted at one time. Someone said, "Don't you go up that creek with no paddle?" Or, "Why are you swimming in a creek with no water?" See, all of these things are possibilities for writing, aren't they? And that's what we're all about. We're all about the creative process in writing. Perhaps you want to sketch a creek with no water. Or this is obviously a human-made creek, because a real creek doesn't look like that. But I'm in a park, I think it's called Trolley Something Park in Fresno, California, and we're exploring different images we can use in our creativity. Normally I come at 12:15 Pacific time and we talk about poetry and writing prompts, but today, because I'll be on the road, I normally scope from Bakersfield, I won't be around a park, I'll be driving at 12:15. So I thought instead I would stop here in Fresno and give you some images to write from. So behind me, this is our next image. Do you see it? It's a trolley car. Now if you watch the scope I just did, I scoped from inside the trolley car. So here's the exterior of it. And I'm going to flip the camera now so you can see it better. Okay. So here is a completely empty trolley car. There are no seats, there are no people, there's just emptiness, except for what I've put in there. And here is my art journal. It looks blank. Another thing that's not supposed to be blank, that is blank. So you have an empty trolley car, you have a blank notebook. Let's see some of the stuff you could write about from this. You have a trolley that has number 28. A trolley with a number 28. Now what could that mean? Let's walk over here. Look at those clouds. Aren't they gorgeous? You could write about clouds. If I come over this way, you will get in the same image clouds, the empty creek, and we might be able to get the bridge in there. Right here, you could craft an amazing story putting together all three of these. So here we go. Gotta go back further. Whoops. So here we go, Fresno, California, y'all. Empty trolley, bridge, dry creek bread, and some girls. Hear them laughing? Maybe you can see them. Some of you guys would probably like that. Some of you girls would like that. So what metaphors can you write about? How can you use these images in your writing and your creativity? That's really up to you. This trolley car says Huntington on it. What does that refer to? Well, we just came off a road called Huntington, if you drove with me. I'm sorry I missed that last comment, because I'm kind of holding the iPad in a way that I can speak and you can hear me. So now we're stepping onto the trolley. Are you ready? And then we'll take one more image and we'll be done with the scope. But now we're walking upstairs and onto the empty trolley. Again, think about what you could write up from the images you see. Normally that would take money. See the money holder? Where for years people put their money in to ride the trolley. And I imagine, hello from England, we're in Fresno, California. This, I'm not sure what this was. And over here is my Wi-Fi. Now, isn't that interesting? Because the Wi-Fi is connected to this thing that says Westinghouse. Probably the electrical unit came from there. And there's a little thing down here, it looks like a foot. Oh yeah, that's my foot on this little pedal. Hi from hey Ann. I'm not sure what this was used for, but look at this prompt possibility. A foot on a pedal that doesn't work anymore with a Wi-Fi that does work in an empty trolley. There's just, for a creative person, there's so much here to play with. In fact, you could write a poem, and you could write a short story, and you could write a play. Imagine, for example, if you were stuck on this trolley, and I just noticed something I hadn't seen before. Comico Trolley Company, Ida Grove, Iowa. Okay, so now we learned something more about this trolley car. It is from Iowa. Why they brought it to Fresno, California, I don't know. But that would be interesting to write about. Trolley car from Iowa landed in Fresno. Did aliens bring it here? I don't know. And finally, this final image is, I believe, a water tower of some kind, because this is part of the Fresno Water District, this little slice of a park.